Hello. Today we will be discussing the animal nervous system. First, we'll be talking about the most basic level of nerves, the neural precursor cells. Neural precursor cells are single-celled eukaryotes that serve as the origins of nerve cells. Then we'll be talking about cnidarians, which serve as the origin of nervous systems. They possess nerve nets, which are more rudimentary forms of the nervous system humans and current organisms possess. Next, we'll be discussing asymmetry, both radial and bilateral, and then we'll go into cephalization, which involves the formation of a central nervous system. Finally, we'll be discussing all these characteristics within more complex organisms. Neural precursor cells are single-celled eukaryotes that use calcium as opposed to sodium and potassium for action potentials. Neural precursor cells serve as the origins of what neurons are. So, in order to fully understand these concepts, we'll first have to talk about cnidarians. Cnidarians are a phylum consisting of stinging organisms such as jellyfish, sea anemones, and hydras. Cnidarians have common nervous system structures, as shown by they possess nerve nets. Cnidarians usually have radial symmetry. Radial symmetry can be identified as cutting an organism like a pizza or a pie. Each slice is structurally similar to one another. The nerve structure of a cnidarian is a nerve net, as shown by this hydra. Notice how it doesn't have a central region for nerves or a brain. This is not necessary for an organism like this, for it simply drifts in the sea, absorbing any organic molecules it needs for life. They don't hunt or hide from prey, they simply require a rudimentary means of detecting stimuli. Now, this brings me to bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry means an organism is symmetrical one way. So, when you cut up a bilateral organism, you'll notice that none of the pieces are completely similar. So this would imply that each of said pieces has a different function. So this brings us to the development of a central nervous system. The nervous system consists of the CNS and the PNS. CNS being central nervous system, PNS being peripheral nervous system. Essentially, the peripheral nervous system has sensory neurons which detect outside stimuli and send a message to interneurons of the central nervous system. These neurons process sensory impulses and send them back to an appropriate motor response in the motor neurons. So, the motor neurons are located in the peripheral nervous system, which trigger a motor response, such as a muscle movement.
Echinoderms are the first organisms to show signs of cephalizations through the nerve ring and the radial nerve. This nerve ring serves as a central point to increase the efficiency of the neural messages along the nervous system of the organism. Common echinoderms are starfish, or sea stars, which have nerve nets within its legs which surround the nerve ring. Nervous system. This is shown by the nerve cord and the brain. The nerve cord is a predecessor to the spinal cord developed in vertebrates. Flatworms still have a nerve net, but they're connected by a long nerve cord. The nerve centers are concentrated at the ends, forming a ladder-like structure. The nerve centers occur through cephalization because the flatworms don't have internal body cavities. The evolutionary significance of this is that since they have a long nerve end, they can more easily process information and at a much faster pace. This allows a tapeworm to conserve energy and forage more efficiently. Mollusks are much more complicated and have more genetic diversity, as seen with the chitin and the squid. We can see that cephalization is more evident in the squid because of the ganglia and the brain. A feature that is prevalent in mollusks is the ganglia, because it also shows up in the chitin. The evolutionary significance of this is that it allows the chitin and the squid to control motor nerves with much more ease. This adaptation allows it to increase genetic diversity because of the large amount of nervous systems, which can aid in survival and reproduction. Annelids and arthropods, although belong in a different phyla, have very similar nervous systems. They are characterized by a brain, a ventral nerve cord, and a segmented ganglia, also seen in the leech. The segmented ganglia helps to more easily control each segment of the body. This can help survival, and the ganglia can process information from the sense organs located on the exoskeleton barrier. They both have a brain, which foreshadows the evolution.
Vertebrates and chordates are the products of thousands of years of evolution. These organisms have a central nervous system consisting of a brain and a spinal cord, which is protected by a spine in vertebrates and a hollow tube in chordates. This gives vertebrates and chordates the increased processing efficiency of the spinal cord and ganglia, while gaining an increased ability to resist and survive damage to areas of the central nervous system, providing an increased ability to survive and reproduce. Vertebrate nervous systems are similar to other organisms. Vertebrates have a peripheral and a central nervous system. However, the peripheral nervous system's motor pathways have two main parts: the somatic pathway, which consists of voluntary movement, and the autonomic pathway, which consists of involuntary automatic movement. The somatic pathway encompasses both muscle control and reflex arcs. The autonomic pathway encompasses the sympathetic, the parasympathetic, and the enteric divisions. The sympathetic division stimulates the body, preparing the body for danger. This is also called the fight or flight response. The parasympathetic division slows down the body activity, like slowing the heartbeat, when there is little stress. The enteric division contains control of the digestive tract and organs, like the gallbladder and the pancreas, to maintain internal homeostasis. These functions evolved in vertebrates primarily to deal with reflexes and also to improve memory and thinking, giving vertebrates the added evolutionary benefit of intelligence.